It's the same day and they're still here.
The Graboid Tentacles, one of the very best things our monster designers created. This is actually the next to last night of production. That's BB Besh's stand-in having some fun with one of those very expressive tentacles.
For picture. Roll sound, please. 45.
Rolling.
Marker.
And here's a take from that night with BB herself.
And action.
But I'm going to go way back now to talk about how the tentacles came to be in the first place.
Cut.
And I'm starting with video of old Fred's house. It doesn't have any tentacles in it, but it is the only video Dad shot on that location, so why not show it? And I need some room here to do my introduction.
Cut the air, and action.
Back when we were writing the script, we knew this was going to be a low-budget movie, and we couldn't afford to show our full-size monsters very often. So we came up with the idea of tentacles as a way to imply that a graboid was there without showing the whole thing. By the way, this shot from Old Fred's isn't even in the movie. It was part of our long original opening that the studio didn't like and made us cut. Anyway, our creature team of course understood that the tentacles were crucial to making the movie work. So they put a huge amount of effort into making some of the best movie tentacles ever, designing and sculpting and casting. For some great behind-the-scenes video of this process, be sure to go to the Amalgamated Dynamics YouTube channel. The internal mechanism was amazing to see. Those custom-made plastic discs kept the tentacle's shape, and multiple control cables ran along the inside. Now here we're doing some early testing. A tentacle has an interior cloth skin on it now. We quickly learned they were capable of all sorts of complex movement, and the way they moved was quite simple. You pulled levers attached to those cables, and the levers were mounted on stands that could easily be carried from place to place, which is exactly what we did. And once we were on location, Dad got this great shot of the levers and the cables running down inside the graboid and into the tentacles. Now, as I said, the tentacles were capable of very complex movement, but there was a catch. Each set of levers controlled only about a third of a tentacle. One set for the back end, one set for the middle, and one for the front end. So to get a shot like this,
And action.
required 3 puppeteers to pull 6 levers in the right order at the right time.
Oh, my goodness. Cut. That's a cut.
You may see where this is going. If we had 3 tentacles in a shot, yeah, we had an army of puppeteers.
I didn't worry about that. I see all this apparatus. What I need is I see saggy from the controller up front. Okay.
And sometimes there were also people operating the graboid's head and beak. So it became a constant struggle to hide all these people from the camera.
Remember, guys, duck down as low as you can. Get out of the frame.
But eventually we'd get everybody hidden and we'd actually do a take.
Stand by. And action. Okay.
This tentacle is too low.
We also had a couple of lightweight controllers, like this backpack-mounted version, and this one that I guess you'd have to call the girdle version. They were used mostly for the finer control of the tentacle head and mouth. As I keep saying, we were a low-budget movie, and there were times when we needed more hands-on levers than we had puppeteers. So over the course of production, many people got drafted into tentacle duty. It was quite typical to see a hodgepodge gathering like this. But I really love this shot that Dad got of one of our most unique tentacle volunteers. The fellow in camo there, getting instructions from Tom Woodruff, is Jim Brubaker, and he's actually a Universal executive. In fact, he was originally sent to the set just to double-check and make sure that we knew what we were doing. When he saw that we did, he became very supportive, and Second Unit became much bigger because of his support. So I'm not kidding when I say that at one time or another, almost everybody took a tentacle turn, and I mean everybody. There's director Ron Underwood being coached on lever work by Alec Gillis, and I wish I knew what shot they were working on. Anyway, no matter who was on the levers, once we had rehearsed enough and the whole team was pulling together, if you will, we got some pretty amazing stuff, all live on camera, on location. And Dad got some great takes of the whole process. I like this one because you can literally see everybody working. I'm actually not sure any of this is in the movie, but on second unit we would shoot a lot of different angles to give Ron and editor Nick Brown as many choices as possible when they were cutting.
Up, all the heads come up. That's good right there. Okay, good. Now gulp.
Open your mouth.
Action. Okay, and searching. Now down, searching everywhere, searching everywhere. Searching wide, way as far right and left as you can go. And retract. Close the mandibles if you can. Cut.
Here's a setup that definitely is in the movie. One of the shots we had to get was the tentacles tearing Rhonda's pants in half, and we did it with the mechanical tentacles.
Action.
Here's our first take.
Rip them. Cut. Cut. Okay, that's re-rig play.
Granted, the first take didn't quite work, but while Dad was wandering around waiting for the reset, he happened to catch audio of a crew member who wasn't too impressed with our goofy-looking puppet work.
Oh, I would make hella with the cinematographer. I can just see a lot of this stuff on the cutting room floor.
Of course, we did get that shot, and here's another one that also did not end up on the cutting room floor. In fact, this one worked perfectly. It's where the tentacles grab the barbed wire and are pulling Rhonda in like a fish on a line. And speaking of everyone pitching in at different times, that's our special effects coordinator in the middle, and one of our sagebrush wranglers beside her helping out Tom Woodruff.
Action.
Here again, Dad got a great moment. You can see clearly that the puppeteers were able to get the tentacles to do exactly what we wanted. The cameras had to roll for a bit, but here it is.
Too much dust. Easy on the dust. Got it. Now go. Cut. Got it.
And as my regular viewers know by now, all that work gives about 1.5 seconds of finished movie. I'm ending Tentacle Part 1 here, not because this is a great tentacle shot, but because hardcore fans will enjoy it for another reason.
Straight in the middle of the striking guy. Where are you guys? There you are.
Show them the female. That's great.
Yes, that's the sound of the pogo stick. The stunt girl for Mindy was rehearsing right nearby because we were shooting her scene later that day.
That's art.
That's what?
That's art.
But before I get to that, I'll be back with Tentacles Part 2.